Hi, have you automated your social media posts? Are consistently posting on a variety of social media sites what you believe is quality content, maybe following a viral script, but you are still not seeing the results you were hoping for, like increased engagement, growing your following? If that's the case, today I want to show you a critical factor that you may have been missing that is keeping you from being successful with your social media post automation. So let's do it. I want to show you today the difference between causal AI and generative AI so that you can not only figure out what makes content successful, but also create your own high engagement post automatically. So the first question is, what is causal AI? Well, I've been trying to figure that out myself. So I went down into some deep rabbit hole of machine learning, data science, model fine-tuning to end up with this graphic here that we see that's overwhelming and probably not very meaningful to the average user. So I had to find a way to convey things in a more plain English language, right? And what you've known so far from models like ChatGPT, right, the most popular one, they're considered generative AI. And causal AI, while scientists have been working on it for ages, is still in the making as it comes to being implemented in your publicly available large language models. However, the models we have been using, they have impressive capabilities in a wide range of tasks, from answering questions to writing stories or writing your social media posts, right? However, they are lacking the human quality you may have noticed, right? Which is their ability to reason about cause and effect. And that is crucial for making informed decisions. And what that means for us is that if you will start out with a social media strategy, which is really step one before automating your post, you need that causal AI to work for you. So causal decision making actually involves understanding the relationship between actions and their consequences. For example, if you take a certain medicine, how will it affect your health? If you make a specific investment, what will the financial outcome be? The language model needs to be able to reason about these kinds of cause and effect relationships in order to be truly useful for decision making. So on the example of medicine, I was thinking, maybe you have noticed a correlation that whenever you take a certain medicine, it gives you diarrhea, right? That's a correlation. But the fact that you get dehydrated is a cause and effect of the diarrhea. And what is necessary to understand that would be, number one, domain expertise. You need to know about medicine and the human body and how it functions, as well as a large amount of data. So you want to keep that in mind as we go forward. Another just fun story I found here explaining what we currently have available, which is generative AI that you're familiar with, from an interview between Joe Rogan and Mark Andreessen, where they discussed ChatGPT, and Andreessen described it as more like a puppy than a person. It wants to make you happy and give you an answer that satisfies you. And if that answer is fictional or part of a fictional scenario, it will do that, right? It's commonly known as hallucination. It's really doing what it's designed to do. Hallucination sounds like a bad thing, but it's there to please you. And if you just look at this fun conversation here, I think it's so adorable. How many letters are there in the word 19? And by the way, it's 8. So Chat first answers the word 19 contains 8 letters. User input, are you sure? Oh, apologies for the confusion. You're right. I made a mistake. The word 19 contains 8 letters. Thank you for catching that, and I appreciate your attention to detail. Really? Oh, I apologize for the oversight. I made another mistake in my previous response. The word 19 actually contains 9 letters. Thank you for your patience, and I'll make sure to be more accurate in my answers. So we have been fighting to get a little more logic and reason into our LLMs. And I don't know if you've ever checked out Matthew Berman on YouTube. I love his videos, and he very commonly tests the latest language models and their various abilities from math and other factors that LLMs are being rated for. And I have this cute clip here that I also wanted to share with you to come to the conclusion of where we are currently at and where we want to go with causal AI. So let's watch this.
Some logic and reasoning. If we lay 5 shirts out in the sun and it takes 4 hours to dry, how long would 20 shirts take to dry? Explain your reasoning step by step. All right. Step 1, find the drying time per shirt, which is 0.8 hours per shirt, which is already not correct, because really what it is each shirt takes 4 hours and they're laid out in a batch of 5. But it is assuming serialized drying, so 16 hours to dry 20 shirts. That's an okay answer, barely a pass, but it's not really what I'm asking. So I think I'm still going to give it a pass just to keep it consistent with the previous models I've tested. Now I'm going to try Gemini 1.5 Pro, not the experimental version, same question. Let's see if it gives me something different. All right, so this is actually a better answer. Drying time depends on factors like sunlight, humidity, air circulation, not the number of shirts. Assuming drying conditions remain the same, 5 shirts or 20 shirts doesn't change how much sunlight is available, then 4 hours for 20 shirts to dry.
Wow.
That is a much better answer, and that is a pass. Some logic and reasoning. If we lay 5 shirts out in the sun.
So that is a pass. It's the first time I watched a video where the answer was 4. While for a human, that answer would have been 4 a year ago or longer. Hopefully all your life. To sum it up, what is causal AI? It helps us understand the why behind events. And unlike other types of AI that look for patterns, causal AI digs deeper to find out what causes those patterns. And this is super important for analyzing why certain social media posts perform better than others. So why do we want to use causal AI for social media? Now, imagine you're posting on social media for your business, and you notice that some posts get tons of likes while others get ignored. Causal AI can help you figure out what elements of your successful post are causing people to engage. Maybe it's the time you posted, or the hashtags used, or the type of content you shared, right? If we're looking at this LinkedIn post here, why did it get some engagement, right? What different reactions did it get? Why was this one reposted? Now, is it because the content was relatively short? Is it because of one of these hashtags that were being used? Or maybe it's the graphic we see, and maybe not just the graphic, but specifically that yellow color that really caught people's eyes, right? It's not as simple as, oh, up here is my viral script. And that's something others have written about in that tone. That brings me to the many elements that really make up your social media posts that can contribute to high engagement. And I put together this document here that I will also share with you in the video description. But just to look at some of these elements, starting with the content type. Is it a text post? Are you publishing images, videos, infographics, right? Or like links, which we just saw in the LinkedIn post. Also, visual elements. Image, videos. Right here on YouTube, we know thumbnails are huge. Even your text contains of many parts, from the headlines to the hashtag, ad mentions. Are you using emojis? All these things matter. And I could go on and on. So we got the engagement triggers you see here. As mentioned in my example, the timing, frequency. How often are you posting? Are there interactive elements? Are you connecting to trending topics? And I'm sure you're aware of a lot of these elements, but are you using it for your decision making on every single post? I think not, right? Down to, did it get likes? Did it get shares? Why was this one shared more? Who was our audience for that? What was their location? And on and on. As I said, I will share this document. But just to get your mind going there's a lot more to successfully growing a social media account or a following than just having the viral post script. So now you may be wondering, when do I use causal AI versus generative AI? And here's the deal. Use causal AI to analyze your existing content to understand what works. And once you have that insight, switch to generative AI to create new content that's likely to succeed based on what you learn, right? The generative AI is the creative one. So let's get to actually how can we implement this in our social media automation. First, typically, you will set up your automation and scrape published social media content. Now, in my community, we're typically using Make for that. And a great site or service to use for any kind of scraping is Apify. So you can use specific actors depending on what social media site you want to scrape for. And then you put the information you get from that into your Google Sheets or your Airtable. If you're just starting out and you don't have enough content of your own, or you're not even sure yet what to post, you can, of course, start by scraping the content of competitors and influencers in your niche so that you get enough data. Because if you remember earlier on, domain expertise and data are really important to fully tap into the power of causal AI. And that being said, this is really an advantage of social media automation for anyone that wonders, this is a good idea at all, because it allows you to post a variety of content consistently to collect the data you need. Especially if we're a small creator, it would be hard to do otherwise. So you can post more frequently and then analyze all the data points you get and iterate on what you learn to fine-tune your automations and especially your post creations. So then you want to analyze the engagement with causal AI, which will help us to identify which elements of our post are actually driving engagement. For example, we might learn that posts with a certain hashtag or posted at a specific time get more likes and comments. But how do we do this, right, within our Make automation? You may be wondering. The example we saw with Matthew Berman that tests various LLM models, you may have seen charts like that, right? And they're continuously done as we are evolving in the AI space. And you want to basically find the model that's ranked highest for logic and reasoning. Just a moment ago, it was actually Llama 3.1. Now with the very latest GPT-4o model from just this month, may have been surpassed. Some other way to go here too is, which I think can also be done in your OpenAI assistants and that which you can integrate with Make, is using the code interpreter. Now, it isn't causal AI per se, but it's getting us a lot closer, right? And you can ask it to analyze the data. Another way to do that is in your prompts. So you're going to have your Make module to access GPT-4o, for example. And you will start your prompt with something like, act as a causal AI scientist, or using causal AI, do this for me, right? And possible prompts for your analysis. For example, are your hashtags effective? Analyze the engagement rates of posts with different hashtags in my last 50 LinkedIn posts. Identify which hashtags contribute most to increased likes and comments. Or how about the timing? Determine the impact of posting times on engagement for my LinkedIn content. Which times of day yield the highest engagement rates in terms of likes and shares? And so on. I have a few more posts here. Again, it's all in the document for you to access later. But besides asking the analysis question, this was basically the inside trick here. Act as a causal AI scientist. This is a similar prompt to explain your reasoning, or let's go through this step by step. This will cause higher causal use of the existing large language models you're using. So now, moving on from that, suppose we found that posts that mention AI automation and using the hashtag AI automation between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. get the most engagement on LinkedIn. Now, using this insight, we can set up a generative AI to create posts around AI automation benefits, ensuring they get posted at our optimal times. Tell me in the comments if you have already timed your posting in your current social media post automations. I'd be curious to hear that. And also, I've gotten out of this video so far, you liked it, give it a little like. Everything helps. You want others to find this as well, so that we can basically improve social media experience for everyone, right? Now, having all these insights, right? Let's create the content with generative AI. We can simply do this by now saying, create a LinkedIn post about the benefits of AI automation using the hashtag AI automation and mentioning how it can save small businesses time and money. To recap, right? For causal AI, we would ask, analyze which hashtags have the highest engagement rate in my last 50 posts. You want to use language models with higher causal inference scores, and prompts and the elements I've provided in this document here. And again, I will share the link in the description. Then from there, using the insights for the generative AI, you're going to prompt it, generate LinkedIn post on AI automation benefits, optimize for the highest engagement. And you want to use models that are best at creative writing and storytelling here, like Claude Sonnet 3.5 at the moment. To recap, I've covered how to use causal AI to understand why certain posts perform well or even go viral, and how to use generative AI to create engaging content automatically. And by combining these tools, you can supercharge your social media strategy. So if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what topics you would like me to cover next. And don't forget, there's also a link somewhere to join the AAA portal, AAA portal notification list, where I want to help you to take your AI automation agency to the next level. Find the link in the description. I hope you join me, and I will see you next time. Bye.